Once Human, the open world, story driven survival crafting title that I've been trying for a very long time to get access to. Just like many of you are, I'm excited to say I've officially been able to have access to the most recent beta. This is beta 3, and alongside it, I've also been accepted into the creator program. This is something I've been working on for quite a while with this title and with the developers. Super excited to say this and announce this. What is this game all about? How are the mechanics? How are the bugs? Is the game polished in its current state? Does it seem like where they are going with the title, are they going to have a successful launch? Straight away, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am loving this game, and I have put more hours into this title than I have with a lot of games recently. Now, initially, when I started the game, I was a bit set back. I didn't realize it was server-based, requiring you to be online all the time. I usually enjoy these kind of titles where I can go in and out of the world on my own, at my own pace, without the multiplayer barrier there. You know, being able to pause the game, not worrying about dying of thirst, hunger, elements, animals, enemies, whatever it may be. But this isn't the case with Once Human. Sure, you have to have an internet connection all the time, but it doesn't change the flow or pace of the game at all. Whether you're jumping in solo or wanting to play with randoms, the easiest way I've figured to explain this title is the likes of New World. It's very similar and has a lot of elements that New World has. Now, I'm not saying it's taking these elements from New World. A lot of other games have done this in the past. The leveling, crafting, storytelling, and multiplayer elements remind me a lot of New World. Really quickly, guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel, as we're going to be covering all things Once Human and everything open world survival crafting. That's what we do here on the channel, and Once Human is no different. Without further ado, let's get straight into why you came here. So to start off, let's talk about the story. So initially, you're spawned in, unaware and confused of what's happening to not only you, but the world. Without going into too much detail to give things away, the story kicks off immediately and is done very well in my opinion. There's depth here, different paths, side quests, giving you the ability to learn more about the world and groups involved, whether that's different machines, different humans, tons of different type of NPCs here. I'm not going to go into too much detail on them because it is a big part of the story and I don't want to give everything away, but there is a lot here and a lot of depth. The different zones and point of interest that you come across that really tell you what is happening in the world, and so far the story does seem pretty fleshed out and I'm liking the path that they're taking here. Now we're going to go into exploration. Now, as we know, when it comes to story, exploration is another topic we can immediately talk about. How does this work? How do you get around? Are there different regions? So on and so forth. The world is massive with different regions, each offering higher tier enemies, loot, and challenges. To progress through the world, you'll encounter smaller towns and POIs, having to complete tasks for each, collecting specific hidden loot, killing named enemies, and ultimately activating a rift beacon. This beacon weakens the enemy presence in the area. Now, the good thing about this is just story related. It won't directly affect the open world, which is great. I've always hated in games like Far Cry and other games similar to that where you clear a zone and no enemy presence exists anymore in that area. With Once Human, the enemies stay. It just progresses the story, which is awesome in my opinion. I love this. I love the way they went about this. Now, you can traverse with vehicles that you can eventually unlock and craft through leveling, whether that's motorcycles, other vehicles. You can upgrade them, make them faster, make them stronger. There's many different things when it comes to traversal here at play. You can also glide around so you can jump off things and glide, and the glide is unlimited. You're not held back by a stamina bar or anything like that. There also is fast travel points that you can unlock, and you can fast travel many different places around the map. So as I talked about at the beginning of the video, the way the worlds are set up is you're going to go into a server. You can choose PvP, PvE server, whatever you like to do. You can choose to go into that server, and then your character is locked to the server. So that is the server that character can only be on. You can't transfer characters, and from there you're going to move your way through the story. There's different war bands and groups and parties that you can create. These war bands are like clans, and the way they work is each member that is in it is contributing each week to a specific goal. It'll give you extra loot. It's an easier way for you guys to work together to take on bosses, world bosses, or different instances that you can jump into. There's different little challenges here, whether it's a world boss or a world event that anyone can go on the server, or you could take your war band, your party with you to that event to clear it out. Things like fishing for specific animals, hunting for specific animals, finding secret loot in locations, holding off a zone from waves, fighting a world boss. So there's many different elements to the world, not only just exploring all these POIs, building up your camp, going to bigger cities and interacting with NPCs, as well as different little dungeons that you can queue up with people on your server and you'll spawn into the instance, take on a boss, take on a dungeon, whatever it may be. to get high tier loot and a loot chest at the end. These elements are really done well, and queuing up in a party is super simple, super easy. They keep it categorized very well. They really have these multiplayer aspects done not only well, but done in a way to where it is very easy to understand, and a lot of players are actually wanting to work together. I primarily play on a PvE server. It has been an absolute blast. It has not been hard to find other players who want to queue up to fight a boss, to get specific loot, specific drops, or specific crafting materials that I need to build whatever it may be. Now, while I'm on the topic of crafting, one of the biggest aspects in this game is the crafting system. This is how you progress, build bigger and better bases, higher tier gear, and overall better tools to help you on your journey, from pickaxes, fishing rods, electricity components, water systems, cooking, smelting, you know, the general concept most games like this offer. I have to say, the way crafting and resources are in this game are done very well. It is just the amount of grind and leveling to feel the progression, but not too much where it becomes bogged down by the system at play. Now, let's talk about leveling, as this ties directly into crafting and general progression. You have a base level for your character. As you level, like most games, you'll get skill points to put into 4 skills. Each skill category focuses on a specific thing, whether that's base defense, armor crafting, weapon crafting, farming, general buffs overall to your player like stamina, food, hunger levels, and things like that. Now, each of these categories are going to be providing new unlockables and craftable weapons, gear, food, general skills, and base construction, allowing for higher tier workbenches and weapon benches, giving you the ability to craft higher tier weapons, armor, ammo, defense systems for your base. Now, on top of all of this in the skill tree, there are other attributes you can apply to your character through leveling, things like increased crafting or gathering yields, higher damage with specific weapons, higher status effects, less food cost when eating, higher yield when crafting ammo, when crafting food, water, whatever it may be. All in all, the progression through your character, the world, and crafting is all done in a well-rounded, easy-to-handle way. And I have to say, a lot of these games, either they get it right or they do not get it right. There's no in-between, in my opinion. Either the crafting, the resource management, the resource gathering is a big complete bog, or it is done in a way to where you really feel like you're progressing without it being too overpowered. Once Human does it very good, and I hope they don't change it come launch, because I think it's right in that sweet spot. Overall, this title offers many different elements of play here. Whether you enjoy PvE, PvP, crafting, survival elements, base building, a good narrative, or just want to run around an open world taking outposts out and looting to your heart's content, this game offers all of that. I have nothing but good things to say about this game. I've seen a lot of people talk about the bugs, there's problems. Again, I haven't played every single beta. I'm coming into beta 3, and right now I do think this game is very polished in its current state. I do think the way the systems are at play here are done very well. Sure, there's bugs, there's problems. I haven't encountered anything that has gate kept me from progressing the game or progressing my character. But you know, there's times where I have to close the game, reboot it up because I got lag spikes, the server went down. Nothing game breaking, at least for me. I haven't encountered any of that. And I just have to say, if you guys are interested in this game, if you guys are looking forward to it, if you guys have any interest at all in trying this title, I really recommend you guys giving it a go. And this comes from someone who primarily likes PvE content. So if you like PvE, if you like PvP, or open world survival crafting, narrative, whatever it may be, I really think this game offers all of that for a mixed variety of players. At the end of the day, I could sit here and talk about this game indefinitely, pretty much. I'm having a complete blast with it. I just can't wait to see what the developers are going to do coming into launch. I know it's been a long road for them. They've done a really good job. The feedback, the communication from the development team, as well as allowing us, the player, to really give them feedback and change many different elements of the game. They're listening to us. They want this game to be good, and they want this game to be what the players want. To some degree, obviously, there is a general idea that they are going off of, but the players' feedback is really getting introduced into all these different updates. Just from playing the beta for a few days now, they have already updated it 4 times so far, and it's adding a lot of different elements to the game, and it's changing a lot of different things, and I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Once Human. I'm going to be making a ton of content here on the channel. I'm trying to get my hands on some more codes. I have a few codes, but not enough for me to do a drop here on YouTube. Once I have 15 to 20 codes roughly, I want to do a drop in the community tab for the channel or on a new video once we talk more about Once Human. Appreciate every single one of you guys. If you're interested in the channel or anything everything once human, all things open world survival crafting. I'd love to have you here. Drop a like on this video as it helps me and the channel grow. And as always, guys, stay happy, stay hyped, and have a beautiful day.